In the darkest corners of the galaxy, hope often seems like a fragile thing, easily crushed by war, betrayal, and loss. But sometimes, the smallest spark can set off a blaze that changes everything. The story you are about to hear is one such spark. A story of an alien princess lost to a brutal war, a human soldier who dared to defy impossible odds, and a reunion so powerful it brought a shattered empire back from the brink of extinction. The grand hall of the Zalari royal palace was silent, heavy with anticipation. Queen Varela, a tall figure draped in flowing violet robes, paced back and forth. Her heart beat faster than it had in years. Outside, the bioluminescent gardens shimmered under the planet's twin moons, but inside, only shadows danced against the crystalline walls. For a decade, the queen had lived with a pain so deep it hollowed her soul. Her daughter, Princess Nira, had been taken during the first devastating strike of the war, stolen by ruthless invaders who sought to crush the Zalari Empire once and for all. Nira was just a child then, barely 10 cycles old. Now, she was a young woman, and Queen Varela had not seen her since that fateful day. Her advisors whispered of hopelessness, of the princess's likely death or enslavement. But the queen refused to accept defeat. Somewhere in the galaxy, her daughter was alive, and she would bring her home. Thousands of light years away, Captain Ethan Reynolds sat alone in the cockpit of his damaged starfighter, the console flickering with warnings. He was a human soldier caught in an alien war, a war he hadn't planned to join. His ship had been forced into a crash landing on the outskirts of the Zalari system during a routine patrol. Scrambling to find a way to repair his vessel, Ethan stumbled upon something he never expected: a secret slave camp where prisoners from the Zalari Empire were held captive. The stench of fear and oppression hung thick in the air. Among the prisoners was a young blue-skinned girl, her eyes sharp but haunted. She watched him silently as he moved through the camp, assessing the guards and the security measures. Ethan didn't know her name then, but when he found her chained and beaten, something in her gaze told him she was important, not just another victim. Risking everything, Ethan launched a daring rescue mission. His training, instinct, and stubborn courage saw him through brutal fights, near captures, and desperate escapes. And when the dust settled, the girl was free. The journey back to the Zalari homeworld was a tense odyssey through hostile space. The human ship, patched up with scavenged parts, was not built for long hauls, let alone evading enemy patrols. But Ethan pushed on, driven by a promise he hadn't even voiced: he would get her home. Nira, as she finally revealed her name, was a quiet but determined companion. The trauma of her captivity was etched deep, yet her spirit was unbroken. She listened wide-eyed to Ethan's stories of Earth and humanity, worlds she had never imagined. Their bond grew in the silence between star systems, forged by shared hope and desperate courage. Back on the Zalari homeworld, the news of a human ship carrying the lost princess spread like wildfire. Skepticism and hope warred within the court. Many doubted such a reunion was possible after so many years of suffering. But when the ship's engines finally hummed down in the capital's docking bay, Queen Varela was there to greet them. Her heart pounded as the hatch opened. Out stepped a young woman, tall and slender, her blue skin shimmering faintly in the docking lights. She looked nothing like the child taken so long ago, yet her eyes bore the same fierce fire. "Mom," Nira whispered, her voice trembling. Varela's arms closed around her daughter in a desperate embrace. Tears streamed freely down her face as years of pain washed away. Then, the queen turned her gaze to Ethan, the human who had done the impossible. "Thank you," she said softly, bowing her head. But the reunion was only the beginning. The return of Nira stirred hope and fear in equal measure. The Zalari Empire had been fractured and broken. The enemy believed the royal line was lost forever, a symbol of the empire's downfall. Now, with Nira back, the tides could change. Queen Varela summoned her council and made a bold decision: to ally with humanity, the very species many Zalari had distrusted. Ethan was honored as an honorary protector of the Zalari people, a symbol of interspecies unity and resilience. Nira, once a captive, was now the living heart of a new era. Flashback: the fall of the Zalari homeworld. The Zalari homeworld had been a jewel of the galaxy, rich in culture, technology, and beauty. but peace had made them complacent. The invaders, a merciless race known as the Zaldar, struck without warning. Their warships blotted out suns, their armies overwhelmed defenses. In a matter of hours, cities fell, families were torn apart, and the royal family's sanctuary was breached. In the chaos, the youngest princess was kidnapped. The queen's guards fought valiantly, but were outmatched. The pain of losing Nira was a wound that never healed. Ethan's rescue mission, a tale of bravery. The slave camp was guarded by heavily armed Zaldar soldiers. Ethan, using his training and quick thinking, avoided patrols and security drones, slipping into the shadows. When he found Nira, she was weak but unbroken, chained in a dark cell. "I'm here to get you out," Ethan whispered. Her eyes widened. Hope was a foreign feeling. The escape was brutal. Alarm sirens blared as guards flooded the camp. Ethan covered Nira, taking hits but refusing to fall. He shielded her with his body, firing his pulse rifle with precision. They barely made it to his ship before enemy reinforcements arrived. The engines roared to life as they blasted away into the void. The journey home, healing and hope. During the long journey, Nira slowly opened up about her experiences, the cruelty, the fear, and the small acts of kindness that kept her alive. Ethan shared stories of Earth, of resilience and second chances. They laughed, argued, and planned a future that once seemed impossible. The emotional reunion. Back on the Zalari planet, the entire court watched silently as mother and daughter reunited. Nira's voice cracked as she spoke. "I thought I'd never see you again." Varela whispered, "You are my heart. You are home." Ethan watched quietly, honored and humbled. The new alliance. The Zalari Empire extended an official alliance to humanity, uniting two races against a common enemy. Ethan was appointed as a liaison, bridging cultures and building trust. Epilogue, a new dawn. The scars of war remained, but so did hope. Queen Varela and Princess Nira stood side by side, ready to rebuild their world. Ethan, once a stranger, became family. Together, they faced the future, stronger, united, and unbreakable.